Hey, it's FeralInferno, and today we are talking about the Xenoblade series. We're talking about all three of them, baby, for the entire trilogy. We got Xenoblade Chronicles 1, we got Xenoblade Chronicles 2, and Xenoblade Chronicles 3. We're going to talk about the entire trilogy. We're going to talk about, hey, where do you start with the series? How long are the games? And what exactly are you getting into? So let's go ahead and start with the very first game, Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition for the Nintendo Switch. One of the really cool things about Xenoblade Chronicles 1 is that the story takes place literally on the backs of giants. Two titans battle each other in a fight to the death, the Bionis and the Mechanis. The names, as they imply, represent biological life and mechanical life. Life and robotics begins to bloom on these titans, and that leads us to our story, with the main character of the first Xenoblade, Shulk. Shulk wields the Monado that contains potential and power that only Shulk is equipped to draw out of it. Man vs. Machine is a story as old as machines themselves. But Xenoblade 1 does an excellent job turning a tired theme into a unique and thrilling story. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of action RPGs, but the Xenoblade series does it masterfully. Your regular attacks are on auto attack, which is awesome because that frees you up to plan out your abilities, the arts. In all the Xenoblade games, your arts have cooldowns after utilizing them, kind of like turn-based meets action RPG. It's important to use them strategically between the three characters you have in battle. Now, you can also freely move around in a fight. This adds another fun layer to combat, as there are abilities that cause more damage and various status effects, based on if you are in the front, behind, or at the side of an enemy. To complete the main story in Xenoblade Chronicles 1, you're looking at anywhere between 60 to 100 hours, and for the completionist runs, around 150 to 250 hours. The setting of Xenoblade Chronicles 2 takes place in an entirely different world, the world of Allrest. The first Xenoblade had only two titans, whereas Xenoblade 2 is littered with them, and these titans come in all different types, shapes, and sizes. The characters in Xenoblade 2 are much more vibrant and anime-inspired than the characters that were a little more on the realistic side in Xenoblade 1. And that may be why Xenoblade 2 is more popular than Xenoblade 1 in Japan, and why Xenoblade 1 is a little more popular in the West than Xenoblade 2. Of course, with Xenoblade 2 winning my Game of the Year of 2020 over Xenoblade 1, you already know where my allegiances lie between these two. As there is some contrast between these two titles, if you have played both of them, let me know in the comments which you prefer, Xenoblade 1 or Xenoblade 2. Xenoblade 2 has several main characters this time around, and two of them are Rex and Pyra. Rex is a scrappy scavenger who goes looking for treasure in the Cloud Sea any chance he gets. Then there is Pyra, a blade in humanoid form known as the Aegis. A group called Torna wants to claim the power of the Aegis for themselves, leading to an unlikely pairing with Rex and Pyra. If Xenoblade Chronicles 1 was all about cultivating a powerful narrative, Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is all about strong and deep character development and those relationships. The battle system is similar to Xenoblade 1, but now with the living blades at your command, there is a little more to keep track of. While you still have three characters in battle, each of those characters can swap between three blades in each battle. This means you have 9 different movesets at your disposal in any given battle. To complete the main story in Xenoblade 2, you're looking at somewhere between 65 to 85 hours. And depending on your definition of completionist for a completionist run, you're looking at around anywhere from 265 to a whopping 800 hours to complete. So In other words, Xenoblade Chronicles 2 definitely gives you the most bang for your buck in terms of if you're looking to max out and get everything there is in the game. Similar to Xenoblade Chronicles 1, Xenoblade Chronicles 3 starts off with a war between two factions, Kevis and Agnes. In this civil war for survival, different colonies between the two nations fight to keep their colonies thriving and to please their respective queens of each kingdom. Each citizen of these colonies has a max lifespan of just 10 years. In this time, they need to survive those 10 years to make it to their homecoming, where their spirits and life energies return to their respective queens. But two groups from these factions have a chance encounter where they obtain the taboo power of the Ouroboros. Along with that power comes the unraveling and discovery of some uncomfortable secrets that will change their lives and destinies forever. The two main characters of Xenoblade 3 are Noah of Kevis and Mio of Agnes. Right away, you can see the influence Xenoblade 1 has on Noah's character design and personality. Likewise with Mio. Her cat ears are definitely a trait that we saw with characters and a specific race that was in Xenoblade 2. This is why you need to play Xenoblade Chronicles 3 last in this trilogy. While you could still play and enjoy it on its own, to get the most out of the world, the story, and the characters, you gotta play 1 and 2 first. The battle system of Xenoblade 3 really surprised me. This time, 7 characters are in battle at one time. 7! Suffice to say, battles can be a little overwhelming in Xenoblade 3, with everything going on at once, but it works. The highlight of Xenoblade 3's battle system is the chain attack, with all characters performing a huge combo for maximum damage. I had a lot of fun experimenting with different combinations with different characters to find the maximum damage output. To complete the main story in Xenoblade 3, you're looking at somewhere between 65 to 90 hours, and for completionist runs, around 180 to 320 hours. So yeah, that was the Xenoblade Chronicles trilogy. What an amazing series. Now you can start with either 1 or 2, just whatever you do. Please do not start with Xenoblade Chronicles 3 because you're going to really want to understand what happened in these first 2 stories. So 3 really just ties it all together and brings it home. You can play these 2 in any order, right? You can be like FeralInferno and play 2 first, because this is what really hooked me into the series. But, I still recommend starting with the first one. It really kind of eases you into the series, into the battle system a little bit more than 2 does. Thank you so much for joining us on this journey through the Xenoblade Chronicles trilogy. And until next time, take care.